Hi, I'm Maryjo with Fourth Dimension Healing in Stillwater, Minnesota, and I'm also the director of the Center for Crystal and Healing Studies, which is my online school, where I offer a number of courses in energy healing, Usui Reiki, and crystal healing, as well as a crystal healer certification program. And you can learn more about my online blended courses. At the end of this video, you can take a look at the links below. Today I want to take a couple of minutes and talk with you about a stone that I find quite remarkable, especially when it has to do with working with the heart chakra and the root chakra. And I'm talking about Eudialyte. Eudialyte is a stone with a vast amount of properties. It has a hardness of 5 to 5.5 on the Mohs hardness scale. So it's softer than quartz. It's harder than calcite and fluorite. So when we're thinking about the heart and that kind of connection with the earth, we're going to tend to look for stones that are going to have those properties of the earth as well as water resonance. Let me show you a piece of the Eudialyte that I actually work with here in my healing practice. And you can see that it has hues of reds, of almost like a ruby, a darker garnet color. Sometimes they're pinks, you're gonna find whites, grays, sometimes blacks, and some greens. So the Eudialyte is a stone that is found in Russia, it's found in Greenland, in the United States, in Canada, and in Madagascar. When I think of working with earth and water, those elements that resonate with that grounding property and physical body healing, as well as that water that supports the emotional healing that we all experience throughout our day and throughout our life. The Eudialyte, while it's not a very common stone, is one that I really like working with because it does bring that earth energy all the way up into the heart chakra. And of course, it's through our heart chakra that we are able to not only heal our own emotions, but also, most importantly, we're able to tap into the compassion and the grace that is embedded deep within our hearts and within our being. I wanted to take a minute to just show you a couple examples of some of the Eudialyte that I carry in my shop. Here is a piece of tumbled Eudialyte. Again, you can see some of the reds, and the colors really vary. You've heard me say it before if you've listened to my other videos. You can have a very small piece of a stone or a very large piece of a stone and be very effective with healing. And when we're looking at this piece, while it's not tremendously big, it's going to be very, very effective. Here is another piece. You can see the variations that show up. I do like working with tumbled stones. They're very easy and comfortable to work with, and they tend to, for the most part, stay in place pretty well if we're working with them on or around our body. They do lay fairly easily. If you find that here's another example, are wanting to work with a piece of Eudialyte in this example, that you would like to be able to have a little bit more firm surface upon which you can rest your stone, I often will take a small cloth, like a little washcloth or a very soft little dish towel or dishcloth, place it on the part of my body where I want that stone to rest, and then I just simply place the stone on the fabric and then wrap that fabric over the stone. It seems to hold it in place a little bit better. So if you're working with small stones like this that may have a tendency to want to slip and slide and roll away, there are tricks of the trade, so to speak, that you can work with to keep those in place if you want to work with them at a particular energy center or chakra. When it comes to working with crystals and gemstones for healing, essentially as long as we have a stone within about 3 feet of our physical body, it is going to be encompassed within our energy field, and so it will be able to influence and support the healing that we're doing. Eudialyte is going to tend to have almost like a little bit of a granular appearance. It does have a hexagonal, trigonal inner structure. Very much, here is a piece of quartz. Let me grab that, excuse my fingers. So here is a piece of clear quartz, rock crystal. And so when quartz is formed, those molecules essentially stack in a particular order and create a hexagonal form when we take a look at it, if we were to take a look at it microscopically. Eudialyte is the same structure. So if you're going to be working with Eudialyte with perhaps a crystal grid, you may want to match and pair up the geometries of the Eudialyte with the geometries of the grid. And so perhaps a triangle or hexagonal grid would be a great pairing, so to speak, of the stone and the grid geometric pattern. So it's just a little bit about Eudialyte. As I mentioned, it's a fairly rare stone. It is hard to find. I do have it available on my online shop, and so go ahead and take a look. The link is below, and you can learn more about Eudialyte and see how it might be able to support your healing, particularly that heart-centered healing that we all are in the process of doing, getting that healing grounded and connected so that we can express the compassion and love within us very readily. For now, let me know if you have questions. Send me a chat, send me a text, go ahead and email me or give me a call. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. At this time, I simply wish you many blessings. Be well.